Previously on Irving Renquist.
Julia, this is Andy Belleville, Christine's ex-boyfriend. I got a note. It showed up in my mailbox. It looks like it's from Christine, Julia.
You really believe she's alive, don't you?
I have to.
If we get anything substantial, we could investigate.
Thank you, Irving. She's not gonna want to hear this. This means her mother is dead.
You need to hear the
I
rest.
want to hear the rest of this.
You have to.
How will you explain yourself? You have to. Don't you dare hurt me.
Stop it!
My dad killed Alex, and Clay Mackey killed my mom.
I'm on my way.
Hurry. I think Alex followed me here.
Okay, this is Irving Renquist, Episode 8, Truth. I'm Dave Grelk, the writer-director. With me is...
I'm Michael B. Nowens. I'm an executive producer and director of photography.
I'm Michelle Higgins. I'm the production manager, and I play Sandra Hedges.
Okay. Episode 8 was initially a two-parter. It was an hour-long episode that would be the concluding episode of the series, and we ultimately decided to split it in half, so we'd get a little bit of a cliffhanger in the middle there. What we're seeing here, we're at the beautiful, Mike, would you say beautiful? Paradise Cove.
Oh yes, beautiful
motel in
which the entire crew got lost on the way to.
Yeah. Well, and there was a big summer storm going on as we were driving up there.
Except for, I believe, Leslie Strong managed to make it there on time.
Yes,
was
with
desperately
Ted.
Trying to reach
And,
everyone.
Just trying to find out where everyone was at and what was going on. That opening sequence is my favorite teaser in the whole series. I remember when I pitched that idea to Mike, because this was not in our original plan for Dottie was going to be still at home at this point in the series, and I said, well, what if Dottie just runs from Alex? And Alex follows her, obviously, because as we learned in the last episode, Dottie is responsible for Alex.
And if you're watching the commentary before you've seen the series, shame on you.
Especially watching the commentary for episode 8 before you've seen episode 7. I mean, what's that about? What's wrong with you? So I pitched this idea, and what?
I've done that.
Oh, well, you shouldn't. That's
know.
not good.
I'm
You're setting
nosy
yourself
like
up
that.
for disaster.
For failure. And
Disaster.
so I called Mike and I said, listen, how dark do you mind if we go? I mean, like if Dottie's been cutting herself, is that okay? You know, because up till now it's been a decently light series. Mm-hmm. But we just kind of went for it, and I think it's one of the really effective openings here.
If I could just interrupt real
Absolutely.
quick. Leslie Strong spent a good amount of time on that journal right there, and it's really gorgeous. I know she spent a lot of...
Well, Leslie Strong spent a good amount of time on everything involved
awesome
with
like
this Christine story, and it is one of my favorite parts of the series, the Christine story, and the Beware the Peppercorn Man idea that we're going to be dealing with before too long.
Oh, very nice, Julia.
And here we have
Did you look at this? Yes, of course.
Madeline Franklin and a big scene
what?
here.
And this mother, what the hell is this? You have no reason to come.
This is, I think Erica gives some of her finest stuff in this storyline. This is really what let her.
She did not. But don't you come in
expand
here
her
out of the blue
character
and yell at me,
between this and
Miss Julia
episode 3,
Lorelai Kelby?
Because she was reacting to Irving, and this allowed her to be a very proactive character.
That she didn't want to talk
and
about.
I really like the way she plays with
anyway.
Madeline here.
Your relationship was defined on what her
it is a lot of story that isn't immediately part of this other story. And one of the reasons I set it up like that is we open the episode with this crazy scene where Dottie's bleeding in the bathtub, and then we don't go back to it for a while. Which is
because I didn't tell you
a lot of fun because this scene is pretty long, and we're dealing with this other storyline that I don't think the audience really expected to be dealing with at this point in the series.
Well, and I like the how the scene follows up the previous scene because they're both very intense, so it helps keep
momentum.
Don't show up.
Specifically, the way that we shot this was definitely one of those days where, as a director of photography, I was very happy because usually whenever we're shooting something, when we have this is sunlight, real sunlight, it's on Madeline's face, and so we had a very very limited amount of time to shoot this, and whenever I run into a problem like this, or a really time-sensitive moment
You're
like
not
this. Usually
the
the
only
director
one that
has
went
like
to
10 million
therapy.
things to do. So
But when your
remember
father
turning to
and
David
I
going,
listened
okay,
to
let's
the
shoot it right now,
therapist
right now, right
and
now.
told us
He
it
was
was
like,
time
oh,
to
yeah,
move
we're
on,
ready,
we
we're ready, let's
did.
go.
But that is the
So-
difference,
And
Julia.
we actually really only shot
And
this
when
scene
I found her book
2 or
years
3
ago,
times, 2
Yeah,
or
we
3
did a few
takes of
takes.
each side.
It changed just a little bit,
understand
which
what
was
she
nice.
was into.
So, and
What
because it's a
she
nice,
did. You should have
meaty
talked
scene.
to her more.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
did you
Lots
know
of
her,
stuff.
Julia?
I think that
You
insert
had
with the
such a
hand, we
great
did try,
goddamn
yeah, we did,
relationship with her.
We did have
You
to,
tell me what
set
it is.
up,
Was it a gang?
bunch of
Was it a
trying to
cult?
create-
You tell
Oh
me
yeah, that
what
was
is
done
it?
much later here.
But
But
you
I
don't know.
love it when we're able to
Even
just,
as close as you were
use
with
the
her, you
available
don't
sunlight.
know.
When we can, I think it gives you
You're
that
just
that
as clueless
nice.
as I am.
I don't know. It's like it's something you
Real.
can't really create.
Right.
Can't create.
Well,
Reality.
the other nice thing about this whole episode is it's the long journey into night.
Yes.
Is the episode as it builds
Feeling
is
that I should have
first of all
done
the
more,
characters
Julia.
are in their own story, which is something we hadn't done at all.
Yeah.
You know, usually they're in pairs in this show.
I should
And
have stopped
Julia's
her
got
from
this
going to
story.
Iowa, or maybe
Irving
you
and
shouldn't
Dottie
have
are
talked
Irving and
to that
Dottie are
advisor
dealing
to
with another
help her get
story,
in.
and Lonnie's got his own story. So we've split up our cast, and I think it's really great that they don't come back together until episode 9 here.
Be my guest.
And this
productive
is some
day
really
for
powerful stuff from Madeline here. She really, you know, she came in with very little preparation and
You moved
nailed this
on.
role.
You were doing that thing with Irving.
No, I do love doing the thing with Irving. You know, she has that great moment where she slips back into, you know, Julia was
Mom
Jewish
mode.
in the novel, and so I think she saw that and went, you know, went to the Jewish Julia mode
no,
there.
I did completely screwed it up.
But this episode, I mean, since it was a 2-part episode, we did 8 and 9 together before we had thought of splitting them up. And each other episode was shot over Thursday through Sunday. And this episode actually ballooned out to Monday through Sunday we were shooting. And we'd pick up various pieces, 8 and 9 together. We'd pick up various pieces as we went. And this was close to the beginning, I think,
Yes,
with the
this
stuff
was
with Julia.
I think this is actually one of the first things that we shot. I know the scene in the garage that was.
That was
the
end. the first scene in the garage.
Oh yeah, no, that was the very beginning because I wasn't there to shoot.
Yeah, that was Monday of that day.
Where is that?
What?
That's in their garage, I believe.
Where is
No,
this?
no, that's
this is
right here.
Johnsburg. This is actually Pirates Cove here.
Paradise.
And Paradise Cove.
Pirates Cove would be something else.
Pirates Cove would have been more fun.
That's where I used to have my birthdays at, actually. Bumper boats.
very
Big
nice.
fan, big fan.
And so we got that wonderful shot simply because we were waiting for the Irving Renquist costumes. We couldn't shoot anything else, so we
Yeah,
were
I
waiting
think
for those to come back.
Brian, I believe, actually, right before this, he took. Maybe it wasn't this episode or this day, but I thought that Brian might have had his
Dottie?
costume with him because I know he took it home because he wanted to wash it himself
Dottie,
one
you
of
in
these
there?
days. And I think actually, because I know it was during the 8th episode.
Right.
If you don't
when
answer
he
me,
did
I'm just
that,
gonna come
and,
in, okay?
Yeah, I remember he took it home with him to get it
One?
specially cleaned.
Very nice.
So I thought
Well, this
Two?
was the biggest nightmare to shoot at this hotel.
3.
Because it was in the 90s. It was humid
Yeah, it
because
sounded
of the
like something
rain.
biblical because
Oh,
there
I
were
thought- I
large
thought you were saying, like,
spiders.
we shot it in the 90s.
We shot it. We jumped. We went back
the
in time.
temperature.
And
Flux
this
capacitor.
this hotel had
Plague
a hole
of
in the
spiders.
wall where the air conditioner was, and just that is my Norman Bates homage. The way Brian goes back to the door, just pushes himself away from it. It's my Norman seeing the dead body in the bathtub, and we're supposed to think at this point that Dottie very well could be dead. Leslie spent a lot of time on the die bitch.
She was very proud.
Very proud, and we it was very hard to see in all the other shots of it.
Oh no.
I was just waiting for him to crack her head on the fire extinguisher. I remember shooting that going, oh my god, no,
This
please
was
don't
shot in your driveway.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
Because by the time we got to that point, it was already nighttime. And here we are with Lonnie in Lonnie's lair, one of my favorite sets,
Your garage.
because it's in my garage, and my wife was furious.
Yeah, she loved that set.
3 months in the garage.
Thank you, Andrea.
Yes, thank you.
And Mark is just everyone really stepped up as the series progressed.
Which is really quite admirable. Admirable.
Wow. Work it.
Yeah, thank you. When you consider that this was one summer.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, we worked 9 weeks on the project without break, without vacation.
It was 9 weeks.
And this was the nightmare tail end of that shoot. Where
did we take just over a week, or was it 2 weeks to do?
No, this took a week
to do 8 and 9.
Yeah. No, this was a week.
We had pickups that we had to do.
We had pickups in the week before it went on the on the air, so we were still shooting this episode. So this did take the longest of all episodes to shoot because we were still shooting it almost a year and a half later. It was that long, wasn't it, between shooting and premiere?
I guess my point that I want to make is that it's the crew and cast were very, very dedicated. Yes. It was definitely a labor of love, and I think it really shows, especially as the episodes progress.
Damn it!
That quick voicemail message from Julia was something we had to record via recorded teleconference, because we forgot about it completely. And I called both Brian and Erica, got them online to a teleconference that was being recorded, and had them speak their voicemail message, and that was where we got that.
Very nice.
It was, there was a lot of those little things that we just missed at the end. Oh, and speaking of tour de force, here's Angela waking up and showing us what she can do as an actress.
Take me
She's
home,
just got
Irving.
this tremendous intensity in this
I'm taking you
scene.
to the hospital.
Take me home.
We drove around for a good long time shooting
Take
this
me home
scenes
now,
in various
Irving.
angles.
Harper
I'm
College.
behind Angela the entire time, laying down on the spare tire in the back. Mike was in the front seat with Brian shooting. It was just there's the only mention of the peppercorn man.
You just jerked the wheel out of my hands twice.
I did not. I'm in the back seat.
Okay, you didn't, but Alex did.
And really, beware.
Not Alex.
Absolutely. He'll rip your head off.
You know what he did to me?
I thought it was just
He's not.
He cornered me, Irving. I thought the door would keep him out, but it didn't. And when he came in, I just hid in the bathroom.
Well,
Dottie, it's you.
No, let me talk, Irving. You put on your stupid little ghost hunter hat, and you have all these goddamn ideas and these theories and these little discussions with Julie about poor, crazy Dottie Parker and her screwed up life and her ghost that's not really a ghost, and we understand her perfectly. You know exactly what's going on.
So he drove somewhere 4 hours away.
You don't have any idea what's going on, because before you met me, you'd never even seen a ghost.
That's a long nightmare drive.
You don't understand.
Right?
Well, he could be lost.
Absolutely.
And everything you've told me, you've never experienced it firsthand, so it is all just theoretical.
Except for
anything having to do with the paranormal is theoretical.
Don't turn on
Brian
Irving
had
Renquist,
so
the
much fun
goddamn
in this scene.
parapsychologist now,
There's
Irving.
one take
I'm
where
not.
he just starts narrating all the people he sees as he's driving. And just
4 hours
there's
show.
people everywhere. It's like, look at that guy. He shouldn't be wearing that shirt. What's going on over there?
Now you pass the buck, just like always.
It's a very fun.
Dr. Tom's a bad guy.
The cast member letting
Julie's
off a
just
lot
doing her
of
job,
steam.
but it's never about you, is it?
Long set of shooting
What do you want
days
me to
here.
say, Dottie?
I want you to say that you believe that I'm not doing this.
So Michelle, this is one of your
So you think
commentaries.
that I would
talk
just walk
about
into my
production
motel room with
designing
my
this
fictional
series
ghost in tow,
production
and
managing
make him
this
nearly
series.
bang down the door to get to me, and when he does, this thing,
Putting
this
her on the
entity,
spot.
this phantom in the dark
God, I
just
feel like
tears
the
my
interview
clothes
I
off
was
my
in
body
this
and
week.
chases me into the
James
bathroom,
Lipton.
and then
Go.
bangs down the door until the lock breaks, slams the door open, chases
Oh,
me with the razor
well, I
blade
can
into the
answer
shower,
that.
and then just
Can I?
starts slicing
Well, sure,
my
we've
arms,
already,
my legs, my
Bugger.
breasts open, Irving.
Bugger.
It doesn't even
Bugger.
disappear until
It's very
I...
British.
Very nice.
I love it.
It is.
It's versatile.
Till I pass
And
out.
it makes people look up when you say it, because no one ever says the word bugger.
Absolutely.
And,
So,
and buggery,
now-
fantastic.
Now, Irving Renquist, production.
All right.
Now you've bought enough time.
Oh man, I was supposed to be thinking doing that. No, production managing for this was a treat, really. Mostly because
the razor blade.
as crazy as the set was, we had a really great communication.
me,
between the
Irving.
crew. We'd meet.
It's me.
What was it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And
Yeah,
we
we'd be
shoot
It's me. How am I
Thursday,
supposed to
Sunday.
stop it?
So,
If it's me, what?
it was great because it was more like a team effort than anything. If there's anything I couldn't figure out, I could come to the meeting on Monday and go, okay, we don't have this. I need help. Which was fantastic because I was working full time at the time.
Yes.
But, gosh, I don't know.
Oh, the Lonnie theme. The great little Lonnie adventure theme.
Which, by the way, this is, I don't know if you'll see it in the scene, but this is a fantastic moment where in the middle of shooting one of the takes, the car started reversing down the driveway.
He accidentally bumped the because that's my car, or it was my car, and Mark accidentally bumped the emergency brake, which because he didn't pull into the driveway, he just was getting out. And he bumped the emergency brake, and the car started moving backwards as he was trying to get out, and like everybody.
I believe
you see a huge collection of crew just rush in and stop the car.
For
just quick thinking on their part.
Yeah.
If you were focused, then you would have realized.
I love how Lonnie
moving the
talks
car
to
didn't
himself.
require bringing the gear.
So much fun. He's one of the few characters that you'd actually believe would talk to themselves.
You guys really need to watch Pushing Daisies because the characters talk to themselves all the time, and it reminds me of you.
Of me personally.
Of you
Yes,
well,
me specifically.
yeah.
Yeah. Not writing style, just me. And
No.
here's Lonnie's adaptation of the song Ghostbusters, so we don't get sued.
Yeah.
It's not even close to the actual melody, and the only lyric we use is Ghostbusters. So they can't sue us. It's just a concept. just a concept. Now, Mark was available all by himself. No other cast members were available on this Tuesday night of shooting.
Yep.
So we went to my employer's backyard to dig this hole because after exhausting almost every possible possibility, I noticed that his yard was all messed up like that. And I said, so would you mind if we just came over and dug a big ass hole in your backyard? And he's like, no, sure, whatever. So we went over and dug a big ass hole in his
Julia.
yard.
Where are you?
And it was a deep hole too.
Yeah, Chris Pantelis, who had he had AD'd a couple of episodes. I know for Morgan, and had done a lot of sound work also on the show. He was involved the entire time. He came over and pretty much single-handedly dug the hole. He had a very stressful day, and I remember he was kind of freaking all of us out because he went to town on that.
Well, there was a
hole.
pickaxe involved.
With a pickaxe, and so everybody was like,
I need your
over
help.
here.
Well,
hey, Chris, remember not to hurt yourself.
I believe it started because both Morgan and I were trying to shovel with flip-flops on.
Yeah, that was not a good idea.
No, well, thank God for Chris.
And the beauty part of this hole was all we had to do really is pile up a whole bunch of dirt around the hole, and suddenly it was a much deeper hole. Yeah, these little inserts were such a pain. Oh, and here's Sandra Hedges' big surprise return after being absent for
I look mad.
5 episodes.
I need to tell you something.
What's going on?
Now,
Before you look.
this is
the house from our
was a
second
touchy
It's
subject, but
haunted
that
by a
shoulder
ghost in
there
the
is
playground
not
behind
Brian
it,
Wool.
and by a
That
poltergeist
shoulder
being
is
controlled
Chris
by the young woman who
Pantelis,
lives here.
because
Correct.
this was the night that Brian decided he'd had
You
enough
don't get
shooting
it,
Irving
Hedges.
Renquist.
Once we
No,
told
yeah,
Dottie that she was the
Brian
one
had-
controlling the
had
poltergeist, she
given a
freaked
lot
out.
of
And then there's the
hours
problem
into
that we
the
found
show.
out that
He
her
had
mother
so
is
much of his
dead,
time,
and
obviously,
her
being in the
father
majority of
admitted to
all the
her
scenes
that
and-
the
and
neighbor
during
is the
whole
one that
show,
killed
and
her mother. So
Almost
who's
every
killed
scene
the
in the
neighbor?
series.
Pretty much. It was a very stressful summer, I know,
little
for
bit of
everybody.
trauma for
and
someone who's
Brian was a real
unconsciously
trooper,
controlling a poltergeist.
Constantly,
Can you just
giving
for
his
once
all
for
every
me
day, and
be
it was one of those days. I know we
Some
all had
footage
one of
of
those
the
days.
shadow
Too.
person
It was just
or
one of those days
EVP?
where I think we just
Does it
pushed
always have to
Brian
be
a bit
so
too
grandiose
hard.
with you? I
'cause
mean,
it was the
honestly,
tail
how many
end,
times
and,
are you going to try to pull this hoax?
and so-
It's not a
But
hoax.
no, I mean,
There
he
are
was a
2
trooper about
residuals
the whole
upstairs
thing,
right
and,
now.
And we were just saying, hey, you want to know what?
Seriously,
we should let you
Sandra.
go.
You know, it
And
makes me sick.
so that way you
Because
can
you
get
used
home,
to
get
have
some
so
rest,
much
because I know he was working.
And
pretty
now
much
you've just
full-time
become
as
this
well.
ambulance
So he had
chaser
early
version of a
mornings, and,
parapsychologist.
we had Chris Pantelis come in here and stand in for him.
Yes.
So
I have to preface
Clyde
it.
Renquist.
We're very near the end. Michelle has
She did
something
it
to
to
say.
herself.
I was just gonna say that
hell
it's
did
one
you
of
do
those
to
actor
her?
phenomenons where and I'm out of time.
No, we have the entire credit sequence
Well,
to continue.
there's this phenomenon in acting sometimes where you just can't remember the lines of the scene, no matter how many times you read the scene, no matter how many, you just can't. And that was one of those scenes for Brian Posey, and it took him for a very long day.
So we wound up having Mr. Wool's stand-in, which was Chris Pantelis, and I think it cut together very nicely.
Very well. I mean, he gave a great performance the way that it all came.
Very nice shoulder. Very nice shoulder.
No, I'm talking about.
Brian. Yes, he did. He did too. But Chris Pantelis' shoulder stole the entire episode, I think.
It's all I smile I've wanted for so